Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a video here today on the channel. I want to show y'all how y'all can master instantly using Waves plugins presets. So I actually created a preset pack that's super easy and super quick for y'all. First of all, I'm actually going to be giving away one of those free presets to you. So what I want you to do is first subscribe to the channel and in the comments drop free preset and I'll link it to you, okay? But the actual full preset pack, I will link it as well. So let's get to it right now. Let's not waste no time. I love to use something like Wave Studio Rack because I have the ability to have these big knobs that will allow me to control these plugin chains, okay? So the very first one that I have right here, the preset I like a lot and I was playing around with it. I'm going to explain everything and how you use them. Is going to be the hard trap master preset. So if you guys want to copy it, you can, but if you want the preset pack, you want to support the channel, you want to get the sound instantly, you like what you hear, you know what you got to do, check the link down below. So let's go. So this is the first track. This is the first preset, hard trap master preset. Okay, and when I think about a hard trap, I think about things that can enhance mid-range, enhance transients. That's why I picked something like the API 2500, the API 560, the L2, as well as the transient designer. But let's look at this first of all.
See, I'm gonna get that money, you gon' go and hate on me, oh. I'm in Miami, watch me jump right out that double This bitch, she with me from the city and she's turning up like that. Too many drugs, they run the club, we going up. She wanna kick it, I told her we got drugs like I'm off Henny with my semi, ben I run up on me, shit, I'm the
all right, cool. So you hear the end result, but let me just bypass the whole thing and actually pull up the track.
See, I'm gonna get that money, you gon' go and hate on me, oh. I'm in Miami, watch me jump right out that double This bitch, she with me from the city and she's turning up like that. Too many drugs, they run the club, we going.
So you hear the mix, it kind of lacks punch. And this is a great preset, especially if you got a 2-track beat type of thing that you're working with too. You can use these knobs like knock. So the knock controls the smack attack, the attack. So when we're using a transient designer to literally harden attack.
See, I'm gonna get that money, you gon' go and hate on me, oh. I'm in Miami, watch me jump right out that double This bitch, she with me from the city and she's turning up like that. Too many drugs, they run the club, we going up. She wanna kick it, I told her we got drugs like I'm off Henny with my semi, ben I run up on me, shit, I'm the ticket, she love it.
So make sure you be very delicate with these knobs. You know, you can go overboard if you want to with them, but I kind of made it to where you're just doing like a couple incremental moves. API 2500 is great because it enhances mid-range.
But a nigga still in his zone. See, I'm gonna get that money, you gon' go and hate on me, oh. I'm in Miami, watch me jump right out that double. In my rear view, I tell them bust, you pull on side, on the road we leave the body. Now what you trying to get into? She like, I'm put that dick inside me, hold on.
So it adds a lot of bit of knock. And then also this is a clipper right here. People don't know, but if you just hit manual makeup, you can use this as a clipper. I'll show you in another preset how I took advantage of that. Then we have the 560 right here, and there's some modules. First of all, the one being cleaner. This is gonna control these 3 knobs right here in a kind of like a low shelf sense, you know what I mean, type of situation. So yeah, you know, I would just only use, maybe not do more than like 1 dB with this type of situation. So you can make it like cleaner. You can add more if you want to, but this controls mostly the low mid. So the more you push this knob, the more this goes backwards. That's how I created it to be. And then the presence, you have presence, which is like an 8K push, as well as the air.
In my rear view, I tell them bust, you pull on side, on the road we leave the body. Now what you trying to get into? She like, I'm put that dick inside me, hold on, I drive. Certain bags right out the back, in the basement we got dirty time.
So now the mix has become a lot cleaner, as well as becoming a lot more present or airy, whatever you want. Quickly like that, we can get a fast sound. We have an L2 limiter. You're gonna make sure you're gonna tap this about a dB or 2. Then we have the smack attack, and I put a clipper at the end of it too. And I took that idea from a plugin, Newfangle Audio Elevate, where you use a limiter first, and then after that, you use like a clipper or a transient designer to get back some of the punch you might have lost from the limiter. Okay, so that's the first preset, the hard trap master preset. Now, the next preset that we're gonna have right here today is gonna be the clean wide master, and this is one of my signature tricks that I always do. One day I was mixing and I was messing around, and I accidentally pulled down the Fairchild just ever so slightly, the lat channel, and for some odd reason I created a situation where I used it as a mid-side processor. I did it on accident one day by having it on lat vert and pulling it down, but I just noticed it makes the whole mix so much wider.
Call on
Let's actually start with it without it.
Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. In another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, back. You know nothing else in between.
Okay, the mix sounds good, but we want this mix to be a little bit more wider, a little bit more ethereal, especially with the momentum of the mix. So we have this clean wide master preset, which is really dope. It includes a couple knobs like a bass boost, okay? There's gonna be a pull tech that if you wanna, add a little bit more bass if you're lacking low end, you're gonna push that. Then we also have clean air, which is gonna control this specific knob right here, but let's just play the difference though.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'm a go, man. It's more than I can explain. In a short time, didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. In another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, back. You know nothing else in between.
All right, really dope. I actually used the Kramer tape right here just for a little bit of subtlety, to round off the transients. Clean and wide is what we want right here. As well as the F6. Now, these are just two bands. One is going to be D harsh, which is just a notch somewhere in the upper area, that if you want to add more of the active EQ, you can. And there's like a D mud.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'm a go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear.
And the great thing about these presets, they're foolproof because the range is no more than 1 dB. You probably wouldn't want to cut more than 1 dB. At that point, if you got that much harshness, you go into actual mix and do something like that. But it's cool how the F6 is already set up with these knobs where I'm like, okay, I want to demud. Now I'm only demudding in the mid-range. And these are usually some mastering moves that I would do myself.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'm a go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. In another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, back. You know nothing else.
So the only thing those things are doing is just controlling threshold, pretty much, they're not controlling the max amount of range or nothing like that. This is max 1 dB, and I think the other one is max 1 dB. So you can't fuck it up pretty much, all right? So that's the clean wide preset, okay? Now the next one that we're gonna have right here, I believe that this one is gonna be this is called Fix the Mud Master Preset, and I actually like this one a lot right here because first of all we got the Fairchild, which is gonna bring us some brightness a little bit, and then we have a couple bunch of different other things right here we're gonna go over. So let's actually just play the mix first.
Find its way, maybe not today, but no day, yeah, one day, carry on your love through the way.
Okay, so you guys got an idea what it sounds like. Let's bring in the preset.
Find its way, maybe not today, but no day, yeah, one day,
And I also want to mention something important. All these presets are calibrated for -6 dB.
find its way, maybe not today, but no day, yeah, one day, carry on your love through the way.
So you hear it adds a great amount of crispiness, the Fix the Mud Master preset. I use the SSL bus comp knowing that it's gonna give me a little bit of punch. And sometimes that's the thing about it. Sometimes what you have to do is you have to cut and then you have to recreate that mid-range, right? That's how you kind of fix the mud. Because you don't want to just only cut it and you're missing out the balls of the mix, okay? So that's why I use the transformer mode right here. And then the typical SSL settings. Also, maybe using a sidechain filter helps the low mid breathe a little bit more on the bus compressor.
Find its way, maybe not today, but no day, yeah, one day, carry on your love through the way. You ain't got no time to waste. I know it takes a little patience, but be patient with me. I know it takes a
All right, after that we have the Aphex Vintage Oral Exciter, just taking advantage of the parallel mix, which is linked right here. The glue controls the threshold on the SSL, and then the last thing is the D-Mud, which I think is just a two shelves slash two bells filters that I have on the Mani EQ. I love the Mani EQ for mastering.
Find its way, maybe not today, but no day.
If you ever run into a situation where you're hitting the chain too hard, just pull back the trim button.
Find its way, maybe not today, but no day, yeah, one day, yeah, 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 yeah. Carry on your love through the way. You ain't got no time to waste. I know it takes a little patience, but be patient with me. I know it takes.
So most of these presets are calibrated to get you to -10 LUFS. In a situation like this, you hear like I was kind of like hitting the mix a little bit too hard. So I just pulled back down the trim button. But if I wanted to go max volume, I could. L2 and L1, basic two limiters that come together for this mix. And a great mastering trick is if, hey, you got to do, 4 dBs of to get it to the 0 or whatever, 4 dBs of limiting or whatever. Maybe you want to split it up in 2, you feel me? Type of situation, So maybe if you're doing like 6 dBs on a limiter, maybe you want to split it up into 2 and let them do 3. It's just a very more clear situation for that. So let's look at the D-Mud knob.
Find its way, maybe not today, but no day, yeah, one day,
Look how easy it is to just clean up the mix really quickly by using that knob right there, because everything is already set up for you. And I'm happy, I'm just doing this video also explaining everything. Okay, so this is the free mastering preset. I think we've seen me use this 1 million times, but it's still a dope setup that I've used for many years on many mixes. You always see Fairchild with the Pug tie, because I understand the saturation curve. Last preset that we have right here, it's going to be the Melodic auto-tune master preset. So this is for people who are doing like singing type of songs, not even just singing, but just the melodic auto-tune, NBA Youngboy, any type of style, So let's look at this right here. This vocal right here, this preset is more focused to pushing vocals and stuff like that. So this is if you want your vocal to be up front. There's a knob, push vocal, which is actually going to be controlled by this little high mad band, somewhere around 5K. Just to, once you actually got your 5K sounding good, you've done soothe, you've done de-esser. Now you're at the mastering stage. Just pushing a little bit of that 5K can actually be very pleasing to give more excitement to the mix. So let's start it without and with. So it's more focused around making a vocal really shine. So of course, another one of the Puig Child, it's like my vintage trick. I don't like to use S1 stereo imager because it fucks around with the smearing. And that's the only like widener plugin I could think about from Waves, unless like you use an SSL E-channel strip V2 and then you click on the wide button. That would be a crazy nerd way to do it. But most importantly is you have the wide preset, which is the main way I've been making things wide, and all it does is just duck the mid channel just a little bit. And it makes you think it's wider, only a 0.3 of a dB, so that's why I like this. And that's why this specific plugin is literally on every single preset. So yeah, then you see how the 5K, it just sounds so nice and generous and doesn't sound harsh. Then we have another API 2500, now using it as a clipper, 1 dB, you will see, if there's something that's important, you'll see it at the top here. So yeah, this is just using it as a clipper. To use it as a clipper, the API 2500, you have to click analog on. And the difference in this mastering preset, the knee is soft compared to the other one where the knee is hard. So softer knee is going to be better because it's melodic auto tune, you know, so you kind of want to maybe more of a smooth type of thing and apply that same type of love language to the whole mix. Last thing right here that I'm going to go over is the Abbey Road Saturator. I use the Mix Bus light saturation. You know, I tried to keep it to the pretty much the affordable Waves plugins, so everything here is going to be pretty easy to get. But I use the Abbey Road's Mix Bus light saturation, and I love how it gives some bite to the mix. Okay, so that's what the bite knob is. The clipper knob is going to be the output for the API 2500. As we have stated, it's a clipper, but the bite knob gives the bite. It gives this nice saturation that really helps the mid-range cut through, helping the vocal pierce even more. And just like that, it's so easy to achieve masters, you feel me? Especially with this preset plugin pack, I've explained everything to you guys on exactly how to use it. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Did you learn anything about how to take advantage of your Waves plugins? Check the comments down below, check the link down below to grab the actual mastering pack. And don't forget, if you want to grab the free preset, that one free preset that I have for you, then you just comment mastering preset down below, or comment whatever the hell you want. Nick, give me the goddamn mastering preset, the free preset, please. All right, just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Appreciate y'all now, YouTube gang. Peace.